Welcome to Tried by Fire, where we wear glasses.
Oh, I should take mine off.
If you haven't watched the first episode or first part of this episode, why are you on this episode or part? Pick it up. You are free to do whatever you want. You want to pick it up here, you can pick it up here. If you don't, this episode is called
He is the Christ.
Verse 26 says, Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. Now, in case you missed the first part, we are getting back into the woman at the well, and Jesus speaking to her about who he is and why he's important. This woman hadn't the slightest knowledge of who she was talking to. If she had known, she would have possibly fallen into the well. She thought it was more strange that a Jew would speak to her at all, for the Jews were not allowed to speak to the Samaritans. In John chapter 4 and verses 7 through 9, it says, There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink, for his disciples were gone away into the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. The woman could rest assured that God was with her.
When we are saved and we meet Christ at the well of life, we don't have to be unsure of who the Messiah is. We don't have to assume that one day he will come to save the world, for he already has done so. He's finished saving it. John 19:30 says, When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. He is self-admitting.
Read verse 26 again. It says, Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. Notice that he doesn't deny himself. He speaks plainly and unmistakably, stating that he is, in fact, God in the flesh. 2 Timothy 2:13 says, If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful. He cannot deny himself.
It's funny that other religions can be so uncertain that Jesus is, in fact, God in the flesh. Jesus never denied his deity with God. John chapter 10, verses 30 through 31. I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up the stones again to stone him. They are one. Then they tried to stone him, and no harm came to him.
Numerous times in his life, this had happened because he claimed to be God. If our standards were what gets us to heaven, heaven would not be a place I would want to spend eternity. It would be the same as spending it here on earth. So, thanks be to God that he came in the flesh to save us from our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. He is openly available.
Verse 27 says, And upon this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with a woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? It wouldn't have been very proper for these men to ask why he is speaking to the Samaritan.
For the non-believer to be graced by God is a rarity in their life. And the reason for this is so that they can look to God. For it is by searching him out that we can be saved. The Christian cannot be shocked at the blessings of a non-believer, for it is a shock that God would speak to any of us at all. Romans 5:6 says, For when we were yet without strength, in due time, Christ died for the ungodly. If you believe you deserve salvation, you will never receive it.
If you think that salvation comes by money or good works, you will never receive it. It is a free gift of God that salvation is acquired. It can only be given to you when you understand how much you don't deserve it. He loves everybody.
When looking at the Samaritan here, he could have continued to walk on by. He didn't need to stop and speak to this woman. In fact, if he hadn't, the woman would be none the wiser to it. She wouldn't have given him a second look. But this is not the mission of God.
The mission of God is to seek and to save those that are lost, even if it's for one person. God knows the outcome of that one who would be saved. Luke 15 verses 10 says, Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth.
Parents are heartbroken when their child runs away from home, possibly lost and alone. The love of Christ transcends the love of the parents. The parent's suffering lasts for sometimes a lifetime, where the suffering of Christ looking for his child lasts an eternity. Charles Spurgeon said, It's the compassion of one infinite heart brimming over with an ocean of love. This one thought moves the pity of the Lord. if he lose one of them. Well, that's it for this episode. So if you just can't get enough, you can go watch some of the other ones again, or you can just watch the next one when it comes out next week.
You could get the I Am book. You could continue reading on, or
this has more in-depth study. So what you are not seeing on these videos, what I can't fit in, is in here.
Yep.
It's a Bible study helper, if you need that. It's time for me to go to bed.
You can find them anywhere books are sold.
That's it.